The second law of human nature transforms self-love into empathy. This chapter is a very interesting one, and this is a chapter that is going to make you really think, because the overall basis of the chapter is every human being is inherently narcissistic. Every human being inherently wants to feel valuable and wants to feel needed and wants to feel liked by everybody. And it's this need for attention and this need for satisfaction and social proof that really gets us away from what we really should be cultivating, which is our empathy. We should be able to resonate with how others are feeling. We should be able to help them through whatever they're going through and support them and bring each other up, because we can't do it alone. Like, society can't get better alone. If you don't like the way the world is going right now, it doesn't matter how articulate you are. You're not Gandhi. You're not, Malcolm X. You're not Martin Luther King Jr. And even these people had people supporting them. You can't do it alone. We need to start by building each other up. We need to start by taking the focus off of ourselves and putting it onto the world, putting it onto the community that we want to start impacting, the community that we want to start improving. And while you're doing this, it's going to take away from this narcissistic need to be valued, this need to be liked, this need to be important, this need to drive a fancy car and have millions of dollars and, just keep up with the Joneses. And it's just we need to understand this principle, because until we understand this, we can't transform the person that we are. And we'll forever be stuck in this selfish loop of self-gratification and all of these activities that really don't provide us any source of long-term fulfillment. Think about the things you do. If you're my age, what do you do on the weekends? You go out to drink, you go get food, you hit on some girls, you do all these things, and it's what are you doing to build up your life? What are you doing to build up your community? Yeah, you're seeing your friends, yeah, you're having fun, but what is going to last? What is going to build your legacy? What is going to be something that people will say about you when you're gone? Are they going to say yeah, he was a fun guy, he told some, shitty jokes at the bar, or are they going to say this person really helped me through the darkest period of my life, and I'm so grateful that he was in my life, because the person I am today is because of him. And it's we need to start cultivating these types of relationships, and it really just starts with understanding that we all have our own story. We all have our own things that make us talk. It was Carl Jung that said the individual is so unique. The individual has its own ecosystem, its own trauma, its own victories, its own sense of self, and each person is so unique, and each person has its own function. And we need to understand this, because until we understand that everyone has their own unique perspective and their own set of truth, then we can start to understand okay, I may be right in this scenario in my own head, but that person also thinks they're right. And we need to come to some sort of agreement. We need to understand that we have a difference in perspective, and we all have the same value in our opinions, and we need to come to some sort of agreement instead of just screaming and yelling at each other, instead of proving who's right. Why don't we come together and come up with the best solution? And it's when we start doing shit like this is when the world starts to change. This is when all the bickering, this is when all the partisanism of the world starts to disappear, and this is when the world starts to make the changes that you want to see. But until that point, I feel we're always going to be stuck. Until we can overcome our need to be liked, our need to be valued, our need to be above others, I don't think you can ever be a complete human. It's frustrating to see, and it's even more frustrating to see that there are people who have gone their entire lives who have never figured out that the meaning of life is to help others. The meaning of life is to do good. The meaning of life is to spread positivity and be happy and be introspective and understand that everyone has their own circumstances, and we're just here to help each other out. And when you understand this, it's how can you not smile? How can you not laugh? How can you not be happy? And when we start to cultivate relationships like this, when we start to approach this in this way, when we start to get rid of our egos and get rid of our narcissism and start to look to help the collective, that's when our value is really asserted. That's when we really have purpose. That's when we really have meaning and really have fulfillment. And hopefully this was a good explanation. In the book, Robert Greene goes into much more detail about the different types of narcissists, how to deal with them, how to recognize them, how to get over your own narcissism. I think it's a really useful chapter, and I think it is something that if you enjoyed what I just said, you're very much going to enjoy Robert Greene talk about it for about 50 pages. So if that isn't any incentive, I'll leave a link to this book in the description. Tremendous book. Right now it's on sale. I don't know if I'm going to release this video when the Amazon day is still going on, but it's like 50% off right now, so I pick it up as soon as you possibly can. You know what, I'll release it tomorrow so you guys can still pick it up half price. But yeah, thank you so much for making this far. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.